Peace. This is a meat and potato sorcery production starring myself, the Water Alchemist, and today's topic for the occult family is ruminations of a toxic people. To ruminate is to reflect and to be into deep contemplation. Many of us have done this, especially when you're doing shadow work and you have certain regrets. But I kind of subscribe to what the Akans say from Ghana: regrets are useless. You can want to do something or certain things a different way, but just to reflect and say, hey, you know, it's all right to be accountable and take responsibility, but you don't want to go through this process of, if I could have did this or I could have did that. I was guilty of doing that. Mentor want to tell you this real fast. And I remember ages ago, there was this woman that I knew, and we were close. And she said, you know what your problem is? I said, no, but I'm sure that you're going to edify me. She said, you keep thinking about the future and you don't know how to operate in the present. And that was some gnosis that she gave me that at that time I needed to hear. One thing about the past, you can't add to it and you can't take away from it, but you learn from it. Now, with me being caught up on the future, and I'm not saying you're not supposed to have some thoughts about it, but it will take away from your present. Your present is what you have control over, and your decision-making process should be, hopefully, a very good one. And when we are dealing with toxic people, there's always this thing of, well, I saw these red flags, I did this, I did that. Let me tell you something. This is how it really works. Let's say you have a toxic significant other back then. All the red flags were there, but you chose to ignore them. That's one. Secondly, and more importantly, this is what get people in trouble with toxic people. You keep being what I would call proponents of history. Oh, I've been with this person 10 years. I've been with this individual 15 years. Okay, fine. Where's that gotten you? See, if you're not progressing certain years or whatever, all that's happening is, and this may sound cruel or vacant, you're both wasting each other's time. But one thing about a toxic person, their thing is they're not going to be satisfied until they suck your spirit dry. And because they're operating from a lower level energy, and a parasitic one at that, they're just going to move on to the next victim. And here you are, because you deal with hysterosity. If you're not careful, hysterosity serves as the metaphysical fertilizer for brokenness. You must understand this. So the thing with, when I used to think about the past, oh, if I could, I would change this, I would do this, and I would do that. If I changed those things, I would not be a sorcerer. I would not be a magician. So I had to come to terms with, I wouldn't change anything. Anything. As painful as the Kalipoth was. No. Wouldn't change that. Did it hurt? Yes. But just like the Kalipoth can take you to a place of being broken, the tree of life can do that too. If you try to go through the different spheres too fast, that can happen. So I'm very thankful, because I wouldn't have became the man or the sorcerer that I become now. And one thing about toxic people in the present, it is not, and I want to accentuate this, it is not your obligation to keep somebody around because you feel that you done came out the sandbox with them. So what you do is you ruminate. You think about strategies to let me jettison this person and excommunicate them. This is what you must do. You must do it without compunction, without guilt. You must do it. Even the people that all of a sudden, when they see you rising, and listen to me, I want you to really understand this. When you start rising and growing, what certain spirits will do, particularly parasitic ones, they will always take somebody that's toxic, and this could be a cousin, A so-called best friend, and remember this, best friends don't tell each other everything. And so-called best friends or friends are not friends for a lifetime. So what they'll do is they will use them and they will come back, and here they go. They're going to play good defense to arrest your growth. So in ruminating and going through reflection, don't get caught up on what you lost. Don't do that. Don't get caught up on what you can gain. What you do get caught up on, progression. One day at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time. That's what you do. So the way to deal with toxic people is, in order for you to be the best version of yourself, you have to get rid of the individual that doesn't want to see the best version of you come to the forefront. So that's something that I want you to really ruminate on. So with that, that is your meat and potato source for the day. I am the Water Alchemist. Be water, my friends. Peace.